What's up, everybody? This is Bryan Bobo at Hunt Real Estate right here in Canandaigua, New York. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, playing, and buying a home, then make sure you tap that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. Honestly, I get so many people calling who are relocating here, and I absolutely love it. If you're thinking about moving, relocating, or coming here to stay, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or even send that pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back moving to Rochester. Let's jump right in. Today I'm with Lindsey Reardon from Hunt Mortgage. She's going to introduce herself a little bit, talk about Hunt Mortgage a little bit, and we will talk then about the pre-approval process. So Lindsey, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Bryan. I appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely.
As Bryan said, my name is Lindsey Reardon. I am a mortgage consultant with Mortgage. I focus on covering kind of all the offices in our Rochester region. And so as a mortgage consultant, I'm kind of the first point person in the process. So when somebody is starting to look to go shopping, typically the real estate agent is going to send them to a lender to kind of have that first conversation. Hunt Mortgage offers all of your basic loan types that you're going to find at any bank. A standard conventional loan, FHA, which are government backed, your USDA for rural areas, and VA, so anybody that's current or previous military. So we help out people with purchases, whether that's first time or they're looking for a step up. We also have people looking for an investment properties or second homes, especially here in our Finger Lakes region. And then the other kind of thing that we do is we offer refinancing. So a lot of times people may be refinancing to lower their rate or term. I've also had borrowers doing a cash out where they're taking equity out of their home. So we kind of offer all of those basic services.
So let's talk about the pre-approval process a little bit. I know one question I get a lot is there a difference between being pre-qualified and pre-approved?
Yeah. So I think we kind of in this industry interchange the two a lot. Sometimes a bank's letter will say pre-qualification versus pre-approval. Sometimes it doesn't. So that's a really good point. We can dive in that a little bit further. When you're looking to shop for a mortgage, a lot of times you may be able to go online and find a bank that's going to give you a pre-qualification. And what that basically means is you may answer a series of questions. What is your current income? What are your current debts? And how much do you have in the bank, right? And then they can, in turn, generate a pre-qualification letter. At Hunt Mortgage, we kind of take it a step further. We don't really do any pre-qualifications. We would do what we call more of a pre-approval. So you're asking all of those things, but you're also taking a look at their full credit report. You're verifying pay stubs and bank statements and W-2s for the last few years. So that's kind of what differentiates a pre-qualification from an actual pre-approval.
Okay. I know me personally, every agent is different. But for people out there watching, pre-approval should be one of the first things that we do after we have a buyer meeting. Some agents will go out there and show houses to buyers who aren't pre-approved. To me, if you're pre-approved, A, you're more serious about it, but B, we can have more realistic expectations as to what they can actually afford.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. To your point, we'll get a lot of calls on a Saturday, a Sunday. And as agents, you're getting those same calls. Hey, I want to see this. Can you set me up? And I think we're, now in a market where you can't even show anybody a house without that pre-approval letter, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And to your point, I think that you vet a lot of things out in that first step. One of the things I see all the time, and it's not that people don't know what they make, right? They get a paycheck or whatever it is, but there are different ways we count income, whether you're a business owner or you make overtime, right? And not to get into all of those details, but it's important for somebody to meet with a loan officer or a mortgage consultant right off the bat so that they can figure out what they actually will qualify for.
Sure. And also, just because somebody is pre-approved for a certain amount, that's not necessarily taking into consideration if things need to be escrowed, like their insurance and taxes. Taxes being a big thing, that plays a major role in what people really can afford.
I completely agree. That's kind of one of the things I explained in my first conversation, especially if you have somebody looking, let's say, all over Rochester, right? You're going to see different taxes in the city as you are as closer to Canandaigua or something like that, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of times our pre-approvals adjust as we go along. People will come back for specific houses. If they find something at a lower tax level, they may be able to go higher on their purchase price.
Sure.
Or vice versa. And to your point, I think it's important for them to understand kind of those components that go into it right from the bat. So your down payment, closing costs, and then whatever prepaid taxes you're going to pay. A lot of people don't understand kind of all of that. So they don't really know what they're going to need for closing or what their monthly payment's going to look like.
Absolutely.
Well, the other thing I was going to say, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but I was just going to say one thing that we can talk about is we talked about pre-qualification versus pre-approval. And I think, and I don't know how we say this, but there are so many things that can go wrong later down the line. So as an agent, you want to work, I don't know, not only someone like a trusted lender, a trusted loan officer, right? But you want to make sure that any of that's vetted out front. So you want to know that, again, so-and-so has the money they need or whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, trying to do things local helps a lot. People go on to these websites that I'm sure everybody knows about and sees commercials for, and they don't necessarily have a feel for the area. Like you said, taxes are so important in figuring out what monthly payments are going to be. But also when it comes to the appraisal process, you guys have relationships with local appraisers who, if agents and lenders need to talk to the appraiser to try to figure something out, we can. Whereas if you're just going with this big box mortgage company that doesn't know anything about the area, doesn't have and can actually hurt buyers if an issue were to come up during the process.
Completely agree. And we see the same thing with title, right? If you have somebody local that has a connection with a title company, when issues arise there, we're also able to flex on that a little bit. And we don't need to talk names, to your point, some of these big names that we know people go online and get. But as a loan officer, I've actually won deals that way because one of our agents goes to put an offer in and the listing agent actually won't take it. We're in a funny area. We're in a funny market where people want to see local banks because they're comfortable with them. They know there aren't going to be issues downstream. And to your point, they know they can call them at night, they can call them on the weekend, right?
Absolutely.
And they're going to know who they're talking to on the other side. And I think that's so important because there are so many things that can come up. There's so many hands in the mix on one transaction, right? Any little piece that you have a little bit more control over is going to be beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to Lindsey for dropping some great knowledge about getting started with the mortgage process. But again, you've got to reach out to me to find that perfect area that maybe you're thinking about living or want to go see. In order to do that, you've got to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or even send a pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back when moving to Rochester. And until the next video, I'll catch you later.